I have a question that I know you're all dying to ask. What happens when you have a 9-bladed fan and you remove not one, not two, but 3 of the blades? I know you're just dying to know the answer to this question. So let's find out, shall we? Here it is. This is the Arctic Bionics 140 millimeter fan, and as you can see, 3 of the blades are snapped off. Now you can say, Glenn, are you stupid? Are you insane? No, I had an accident when I was testing this for the 140 millimeter comparison of airflow and pressure differential, and the cord got caught in the blade and snapped it off. And so I was going to throw it out, and I thought, wait a second, I can remove 2 more blades so that it is balanced and won't kill me. I hate wasting things. That's the honest truth, especially something as good as a Bionics fan. I did reach out to Arctic, but they never bothered to answer my message. So, Arctic, thanks. Yeah, so we're going to find out what impact this is going to have. Now, it's not perfectly balanced because I couldn't get the stubs to be perfectly the same, but it's pretty close, so I'm probably not risking my life, just maybe a finger or something like that. So, first of all, I'm going to need a source of power. And fortunately for me, I have, amongst all these cables over here, a source of power. I got that plugged in. And so I want you to guess. Do you think it's going to have good static pressure? Do you think it'll have good airflow? Do you think it'll be noisy? Do you think it's going to fly off and chop my head off? Or maybe just a finger? Or maybe my nose. It's big enough. It's a good target. Let's find out, shall we? And just for funsies, I'm going to aim it at you. Because that way I'm less likely to oh God, die. Yeah, there we go. And I don't want to really lose a finger. If only it was the summer instead of the late fall here in southern Ohio. There is a little bit of wobble, and I have to say that it's probably not normal, but it's not too bad either. So I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to die, but just in case, I'm going to hold this a little bit farther away from myself, also because it's making me cold. Now, I do want to let you know that one of the benefits of losing 3 blades is it's not as noisy. So let's go ahead and slow it down to about there. Yeah, that's good. And as you can tell, it's quite quiet. But there is what sounds like a harmonic resonance. Let me slide you up here a little bit. Ugh. Nope, don't you fall down. All right, I'm going to move this up. There we go. So you and I can both listen to it at the same time. And yes, there's definitely a harmonic resonance. So let's see if we can get rid of that by speeding it up. No, another one. And another one. Again. And there's so many harmonic resonances from this fan. I'm sure people who are sensitive to sound aren't going to be a fan of it. Ha ha ha. Again. Again. Good golly. Now, unfortunately, I was unable to complete my testing for obvious reasons, and I won't be able to use it for my comparison series, which is really frustrating because I really did want to include this because the Bionics are good fans. But what I can do is check the airflow, and I can give a rough estimate on whether the static pressure is still any good. Now, let me just go over to my database and see if I can find that Bionics 140. That's the 120. There it is. All right, so I do have some information that I can share from before the blade snapped off. The minimum RPMs were 780. The minimum airflow was 110.4. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, 110.4 cubic meters per hour, which isn't that amazing, but then the fan snapped off. Now, the supposed static pressure for this fan is 2.35. That's 2.35, or 5 if you want to use finger maths. Now let's see what we can get now. I'm just going to set this up. Okay. And it's ready to measure. Well, I suppose I should probably turn it the right way. Not doing too bad. Ooh, there's a hot spot there. Trying to find the sweet spot where there's going to be a lot of airflow. I will say that it looks like the overall airflow definitely has been negatively impacted. Now, when I tested this before the blade snapped off, I was getting in cubic meters per minute about 1.84. And I think maybe there might be a small problem because it's only reading 0.31, and I really think it should be more than 0.31 with 6 of its 9 blades still present. So I'm a little bit concerned about this. Let me just try one more time. Yeah, there's definitely something going on here. So let me just consult with my magic genie. Well, I have some good news and I have some bad news. The bad news is there's something going on with my anemometer. It is not registering correctly. The airflow, which I kind of suspected because I recently tested a couple of fans and the numbers were way below what they were published to be. So I did even switch out the batteries for a different set of batteries, and that didn't fix the problem. So either I need to find a third set of batteries to put in, or the anemometer needs to be replaced. Now, I would love to just say, oh, I'll just go out and buy one, but I'm rather short on cash right now. And given that very little in the way of donations is coming in from, and that's only from Rudik, my steadfast supporter for the past year plus, it doesn't really seem likely, especially since it's going to snow soon. Oh, actually, it's snowing right now. And I need to replace some tires on my car, and that's going to cost well over $200. So, yeah. So, lacking an anemometer, I can't give you an airflow measurement, and it's also going to stymie me from doing more fan reviews. However, I can and do still have the ability to use my hand to measure the static pressure. And according to what my hand is telling me, is that the static pressure is slightly less than the 2.34 that is published, but it's still, I'd say, about 1.5. So that's actually pretty good. That's better than what I had anticipated, and that's probably lower than what it really is because my hand is not an accurate manometer. So what happens when you break some blades off? If you make sure that the brakes are symmetrical, you still have a working fan, albeit one that won't work as well as before. Now you know the answer that you've been dying to know about since you wore diapers. Thanks for watching and have a great day.